Hi everyone, Nick Creticus of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me today on Bowdabra, and we're going to be creating lots of bows today using our Large Bowdabra right here. We also have the Bowdabra wire, and this comes as a 100-yard spool, and it's in the color gold, and it's an extremely sturdy wire, believe it or not. It really holds its shape. I think this should be pretty not only to secure your bows to, but also to accent ornaments, which is what we did last year as well, which was kind of fun. So as you guys come in, let me know where you're watching from. Today was an extremely hot day of 95 degrees here in Raleigh, Massachusetts, and I know that doesn't sound like much to some of you guys that live down south, but here, that is definitely a hot day. So to start off with, I'm just going to cut a length of our wire right here, fold it over, or in half, and I'm going to place it into my Bowdabra like this. And to keep it out of my way, I'm just going to place it underneath my Bowdabra for the time being. And also, a cool thing that's happening today, as you come in, if you comment down in the comment section that you would like to win, Bowdabra is giving away a free roll of ribbon. So comment down below that you'd like to win. The color choices are red, silver, and gold. And you just might be the lucky winner for today's drawing. So to start off with, we're going to do a 2-ribbon bow. And look at how pretty this ribbon is right here. It says Merry Christmas in a red glitter and then also in kind of an emerald green as well. So I think this ribbon is just stunning, which is why we're going to be using it today. So to start off with, we're going to cut some tails. And you can cut them however long you would like.
Gail says, hi, Nick from Maryland, 100 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
100 degrees.
That's hot. So behind the camera today is my dad, so be sure to say hi to Dad for me. I'm fortunate enough to have him down here to help me film, so kudos to him. I know you guys appreciate his company as well. So we're going to take our tails and we're going to simply place them into our Bowdabra like that. And I like to just keep them sprawled out. We're going to have to fluff them anyway, so don't be too worried about where they're at for the time being. And then we can take our ribbon and place it in. So you're going to have to get used to your own Bowdabra. So every single tool in your shop, you get used to. People give me a lot of crap about the way I hold my scissors. I am left-handed and I sometimes hold them really weird. So whatever works for you, you're going to have to figure that out. So I like to turn my Bowdabra as I work in my ribbon. And a very crucial step is to take your ribbon and twist it completely around. So see that the side that we don't want showing is face up. But then when we gather our loop, which again I like to twist my Bowdabra, the pretty side is on the surface again.
Hi, guys. Thanks for all the highs. Appreciate it.
Let us know what you guys did today, too. So I've been filming all day. We've gotten some tutorials done. Haven't stepped foot outside to sit outside. It's way too hot for that. And you know it's a hot day when Yaya's not outside because she loves to be in the sun and sitting outside, and she's not doing that today. Okay, so we have 3 loops. What we can also do is add more loops if we wanted to, but I'm going to snip it off here. Just like that. And then we'll come back in with some burlap ribbon. So now we'll work in our burlap. And this burlap ribbon, we're going to do about 1 inch to 1.5 inches smaller than the Merry Christmas ribbon.
Hi, everybody. Make sure you say you want to win.
I know. Who wants a free roll of ribbon? And if you don't mind giving this video a like as well as a share, I greatly appreciate it. It lets us know that these videos are informative and helpful and hopefully entertaining. But we're going to do 3, we'll do 3 loops on this as well, because it is a rather large bow. And then we'll do 1 more final loop directly in the middle. So here's our 3rd loop on either side. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create 1 more smaller loop, and this is known as a little button loop.
Feel better, Sharon. Sharon wants to win. Maureen wants to win. Everybody wants to win.
Awesome. So now what we're going to do is the Bowdabra also comes with a wand. You can use the wand if you would like, but I just like to use my hands and compress my ribbon. But if you're just starting out, it just comes with a little piece of plastic that you place inside, and it just compresses all your ribbon. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire, work it from one side to another, pull really, really tight. And now our Bowdabra is attached with our wire, but we're going to take one piece of the wire, fold it over like that, give it another pull, and then we can just secure it from behind. And I always like to give it at least 2 ties. And if you want to give it a third for good measure, that's always a good idea as well. And now what we can do is we can fluff open our loops, get them where we would like.
Cheryl Johnson Van Patten said, I enjoyed watching you and your Yaya at Michael's.
Oh, I know something happened to that video. It just disappeared for some reason. But yeah, me and Yaya had a lot of fun doing a little tour. And you guys seem to enjoy it as well, but you know, we always like shopping together. The best thing about Yaya is that she gives me her brutally honest opinion on everything, which I know a lot of people are sensitive and don't like, you know, brutal honesty. I love it. And especially from Yaya. Because she'll say it like it is. If she doesn't like one of my designs, she'll be the first to let me know.
Nick, Sandy says, thank you, Nick Creticos, for filling in for me.
Of course, and let's all wish Sandy the best. She did break her wrist, so let's all keep Sandy in our prayers, and hopefully she heals as quickly as you possibly can with a broken wrist. So thank you, Sandy, for having me fill in. It's always a pleasure being on Bowdabra. But before we even, you know, show you the bow, what we're going to do... Oh, did we already dovetail? I don't remember doing that. But to show you guys again, in case I forgot, we're going to take our ribbon, fold it in half, and cut from the middle out towards the edge. And this just creates a professional, finished look to your ends of your ribbon. So if you don't want to do that, you can, of course, cut it from an angle, just an angled cut. So again, fold it in half, cut from the middle out towards the edge. But never just keep it blunt straight across. You never want it like that. The best way to do it is either an angle or to dovetail. Give our ribbons one final little fluff, and then we can hold it up. So I will have pictures of all the bows we create today for you guys to see. Let me make sure I like it. For you guys to see once I give them a good fluff. And that's something that you can do over and over again, is constantly fluff your bows. So here we have a simple 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch bow. Let's create even more bows now. We're going to create a small wreath. So hands up if you guys want to see a very simple 2-minute wreath, because we're just going to be adding 3 picks and a beautiful bow. But to start off with, we're going to need to cut another length of our wire. Take it, fold it in half so that you have kind of a hook on one side. Place it into your Bowdabra, like that. And then we're going to use this 1.5 inch, it kind of reminds me of candy cane. Whenever I see red and white, that's what it reminds me of. How about you, Dad?
Yeah, it does look like a candy cane.
I mean, we do have candy cane printed ribbon with the stripes, but I think even just this red and white with the frilly edge.
Yeah, the little frilly edge is pretty.
Kind of just looks like candy cane to me for some reason. But just a red and white ribbon. Again, cut a length off for our tails. Take our tails, place them into the Bowdabra like this. You can pull them down if you would like at this step. And we're going to do a traditional bow at this point. So traditional bows are my favorite for Christmas time, and it's Christmas in July. So hands up if you guys are excited for Christmas in July. We have lots more coming your way. But then what we're going to do is the same process where we're going to take our ribbon, pinch in the middle, reverse it. This ribbon doesn't show as much as other ribbons, but we are reversing it as well. And we'll create some loops. So I'm not going to add as many loops as we typically do because I want this bow to be a little less full than other bows we've done in the past. And this is a 50-yard spool of ribbon.
Gladys says it reminds her of Santa's uniform.
Santa's uniform.
Santa's robe, I'm sorry.
Santa's robe. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It does,
yeah.
with the what is this? The cufflinks
Yeah,
that are made of
yeah.
fuzzy stuff.
Alice Lowe says, I want to win.
Awesome. All right, so we'll probably do about 3 to 4 loops on either side. We're not going to go too crazy with too many loops. Oh, we folded that one the wrong way. Let's just take it, reverse it, place it back in our Bowdabra, and continue making a few more loops. So if you're just joining us, if you don't mind giving this video a like and a share, if these bow tutorials are helpful, we always appreciate your feedback. And if there's any suggestions or things you would like to see in the future, let us know. So the Bowdabra acts as a third hand to hold everything in place. So I especially recommend the Bowdabra to people that may have arthritis, carpal tunnel, or issues with holding their ribbon.
Ariane Hubenak says, hey, Nick, just getting in. I want to win.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. And how was your weekend? What did we do this weekend? It's all a blur to me. It's been just so hot lately. That's pretty much it. That's all I can say about everything lately is it's just been so hot.
We went to At Home, didn't we?
Oh, we did go to At Home.
Yep.
Yeah, we went to At Home. At Home's about 50 minutes away from us, so going there is like taking a nice trip. So we'll cut it off there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wires. Again, there's one side that has a loop and one side that has two ends. We're going to just take one of those sides. Doesn't matter which way you take it, because either way it'll turn out the same.
Sharon's baking a peach cobbler while she's watching, Nick.
Ooh, peach cobbler. I love peach cobbler. And then we can just tie it from behind. And like I said, I recommend, a minimum of 2 ties. It takes an extra second to tie it a third time, and then you just have all that much more security, making sure your bow is not going to go anywhere. And then what we can do is fluff it. This is not the best quality ribbon, but you don't necessarily always need the highest of high quality ribbons. So this one's just average. It's not the thickest. The wire isn't the best, but it still has a hold and you still can manipulate it. So the most important step with bow making, in my opinion, is giving it a good fluff once, twice, maybe even 3 times to make sure everything's exactly where you want it. And I constantly fluff all of my bows right up until the minute they get shipped. So, it takes a lot of work to get a perfect bow in regards to fluffing. What do you think of that? Isn't that pretty?
It's pretty.
What do you guys think? Give some hearts if you guys like that bow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our bow, and here we just have a small 14-inch wreath. And like I said, this wreath's going to be about, 2 to 3 minutes to create. We're going to take our ribbon, secure it to our wreath.
Deborah said, what's the best way to select ribbon, Nick?
Honestly, I think once you purchase a few rolls, you'll be able to kind of distinguish what's a nice quality ribbon. And of course, nice quality ribbons are helpful. So if you can get a nice quality ribbon, it definitely makes things so much easier. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take an extra little piece of wire and feed this piece of wire actually through the grapevine. But with quality ribbon, what you're really looking for is a nice thick wire. If it has a nice thick wire, what ends up happening is it holds its place. And, whenever you're designing artificial designs, you really want to make sure... This grapevine's really thick, by the way. And that's an issue you can run into if you have very thick grapevines. But you do want to have a nice hold with your ribbons.
That's pretty wide, too. It's wide all around that grapevine, huh?
Yeah, it's very thick. I should have thinned this out a little bit before with kind of like an ice pick. But then we can just secure our bow.
Sandy says, I love my Bowdabra.
Sandy, awesome. So again, comment down below if you'd like to win a free roll of ribbon. There we go. So now, again, 3 twists just to make sure that it's exactly where you want it and it's not going to fall off.
Hi, Ann. Thank you.
What do you think? How do you think Dad's doing reading comments tonight, you guys? I think he's doing a great job. So thumbs up for Dad. Okay, so now we have our pretty little bow secured. Give it a little quick fluff. So we have a pretty little bow secured. Now what we can do is just add those 3 simple picks like I was just talking about. So we have our bow in place, and here we have these picks. These came from Hobby Lobby, and they already have berries, greenery, flocking material, and pine cones on it. So I'm not going to hot glue these in place. I'm just going to show you guys how quick this can be. So if you want to switch out your wreaths for each season or holiday, and you're just making this for your own home, you can easily just grab a couple picks, whether it's these Christmas picks, or you can be doing like Easter eggs for Easter time. You can also be doing like starfish for summer beach wreaths.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. VG Dykes would like to know, what is non-wired ribbon good for, Nick? Anything?
I like using it in my fresh floor designs. It just has a beautiful cascade to it that you can't get with wired ribbon. So think of non-wired velvet. When I decorate my kissing balls at Christmas time, I love the tails to kind of flow in the wind, whereas wired ribbon, yes, it has a flow to it, but it's not as beautifully flowing like a non-wired ribbon. So I only use non-wired for like my fresh designs. I never use them in artificial designs. The hold is just not there. So 2 simple picks, look at that. Very simple. Of course not luxurious, and of course these aren't secured, but you know, you don't have to secure them if you're doing this for your own home, because then you can just switch out everything from season to season. But with that quick little demo, took what, 2 minutes for composing that wreath, we're going to create another bow. So we'll cut another length of our wire, and as you can see at the top of the Bowdabra, there is an opening right there on either side. And these 2 pieces are kind of springed. What would you say? Spring action?
Yeah.
They have a force to them, which has some tension, which keeps your ribbon exactly where you would like it. So we'll take our wires, we'll place them underneath like that. And this ribbon is stunning. Look at that. Prince of Peace, Savior, Bread of Life, Son of God, Land of God, Shepherd, Son of God. Look at that. Holy One. This one came from Hobby Lobby. And I have probably, I don't know, 50 rolls of this for some crazy reason. But I think it's such a beautiful combination with that cream and that ivory and that gold. So we're going to create, I think a traditional bow would look best with this. I don't think I want to incorporate another ribbon with it, just because it's such a pretty bow, such a pretty ribbon. So we'll start off with our tails. We can cut them however long we would like.
Deborah Blanchard said, I'm retiring from nursing and learning to make wreaths.
Awesome! Wreaths are so much fun. And hands up if you guys have ever made a wreath before. I know we're on Bowdabra's channel, so I'm not sure if everybody makes wreaths. But if you haven't, I don't recommend starting for one sole reason. You will be addicted and you will never stop. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't made a wreath yet before, once you make one, you'll be hooked. So again, bottom side up. And then what we'll do is we'll just twist our Bowdabra, create a loop, and continually twist our Bowdabra. So that's what I like to do. Instead of moving my hands, I like to move my Bowdabra towards me. Isn't that a pretty ribbon?
Very pretty.
I think you got these done, if we're going to be honest. You're probably one that picked out all of these rolls for me.
I'm always shopping.
Taking Dad shopping is a huge trip because he will just throw everything in his cart. So a lot of my supplies that I haven't even touched over the last 4 or 5 years are my dad's taste. And me and my dad, we have similar tastes, but we also have very different tastes. It's hard to describe. He likes things a little bit more modern than me. But me and Yaya love classical, traditional designs.
And I do too, but I like the whimsical too.
Dad loves whimsical, so he'll come home with some things that I wouldn't even like consider. And over the years, we ended up using them. So some ribbons that, you know, my dad has gotten me, probably this one too, we end up using somewhere down the line. So we have about 4 loops on either side. Let's do 2 more loops to create a decently full bow. Because this ribbon, you want to be able to read, and I don't want to cover it up with another ribbon. Okay, that should be enough loops. So this bow would be perfect for kind of a lantern. So I don't know if you guys have one in your yard, but our neighbor has a lamp post. And I think just one of these giant bows would be so pretty with really long tails, kind of cascading down. Again, pull your wires through your Bowdabra. Take your Bowdabra out. It's already on the wire, but now it's time to secure. So we're going to take one of those wires, fold it on the other side, grab them both from behind, and begin tightening it. So 3 knots for good measure, and then we can fluff open our bow. So we'll pull our tails forward, and I often cut really long tails because I love the look of them, and I just think it creates such a large bow having longer tails. The bow itself doesn't have to be big, but if you have long tails like that cascading down below, it just creates such a large looking bow. Fluff open those loops.
Sandy said the Bowdabras are on back order, but they should be back in about a week.
Awesome, you guys hear that? So the Bowdabras are on back order, but they should be back in about a week. So make sure to order your Bowdabra.
They have hair bow kits and mini Bowdabras.
Exactly. So I don't use the mini Bowdabra because I don't make bows quite as small. But if you make like little headbands, you can put like a little bow on it using the mini Bowdabra. And it looks similar, but the the size of the top isn't nearly as large, so I think it's only about this big. So perfect for smaller bows, which I'm sure you can do in the large as well, but it's probably a little bit more tedious using the large.
Come on, everybody who wants to win the ribbon.
All right, what do you think of that? Isn't that pretty?
That's pretty.
So
Love the
now,
colors.
again, I'll show you two different options. You can take your tail and you can cut at an angle like that. Or what you can also do is take your tail, fold it in half, and cut from the middle out towards the wired edge to create a dovetail. The choice is up to you as long as it's not a blunt cut straight across. You just want to have some dimension to it. And there we have it. A pretty traditional bow using 2.5-inch ribbon. Isn't that pretty?
It is pretty.
I love that color scheme. I love that color scheme. All right, let's create another bow. So what we're going to do now is use these two ribbons. And we have that 2.5-inch, and we also have this 1.5-inch. And I don't know, I just think these two ribbons really look nice together. I don't know what it is. Usually I would just do a solid with each of them, but I really like that combo. So I put them on the table, and we're going to create a bow. So I've already created about 10 to 15 bows using our new roll of wire. Look at the dent we put into this. There isn't one.
I know.
There isn't one.
It's full. It's a full roll still.
So it lasts a long time, and you can get a lot of bows out of it. Okay, so again, put our wires into our Bowdabra. Like that. And then we can start with our 2.5-inch. And for this bow, let's not even add tails to it. We can if we want, but let's do something a little bit different. Let's just do loops on this. So create one loop, and people always ask me how big the size loops are, and I always give estimates, but honestly it all comes down to what you're using your bow on and what you're trying to have your end look be. So if you're trying to create a massive bow, just do the same technique that I'm doing, but just create your loops larger. And the best thing to do is just kind of play with it in your hand and see if the loops are too large or if they're too small, and just adjust accordingly. So these loops are only about 4.5, 5 inches.
That's a really nice ribbon, Nick. It looks
Isn't it?
It looks like it's really like solid, nice.
So I purchased like 10 rolls of this by accident because I have a tendency to put a lot of things in my cart, forget that I have things in my cart, shop for the next 2 or 3 days, and just place my order. I never kind of proof check my cart. So I must have added a couple rolls of these one day, a few the next, and then a few more the day after. So we have 3 loops on either side. Let's cut off here. And then what we can do, compress our ribbon, take our brown ribbon, place it into our Bowdabra. And these loops are going to be, again, slightly smaller, about an inch or so smaller. So these loops are only about 3.5 inches. And I always like to drop my rolls of ribbon to the ground. I don't know why, it just makes it a little bit easier. So if you see me like throw my ribbon to the ground, it's on purpose. Trust me on that. And you should give it a try. See if it works better for you. All right, so we have 3 loops on either side now. Now we're going to do what I like to call a little button loop. So we're going to create a loop about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, more like 1.5 inches. Take our wire. So in the beginning, I was showing you guys that I took the other side of the wire with the 2 open ends, but it doesn't make a difference. You can just take this side. Let me push this tail in a little bit more. You can take this side, feed it through, and secure like that. Does the same thing. You're still connecting your bow. Pull tight. Wrap around. So we're nearing the end of this video, so be sure to comment down below that you would like to win a free roll of ribbon. And if you don't want a free roll of ribbon, you're crazy, because who doesn't want free ribbon? And of course, if you don't mind giving this video a like and a share, me and my dad greatly appreciate it. Fluff them open.
Congratulations, Ariane Hubenek.
Congratulations.
Tonight's winner.
Awesome. You just won yourself a free roll of ribbon, Ariane.
Ariane Hubenek, yeah.
Ariane, awesome. So send a message to Bowdabra with your email address and your color selection. I believe the colors are red, silver, and gold. And they will send you a free roll of ribbon. So congratulations. What do you think of that? Isn't that pretty?
The color scheme goes great together. Nick, you were right with that little one.
I don't know. I just like that color combination for some crazy reason. So what you can also do is you can take these and you can place them on presents. So for instance, let's say this stack of ribbon right here is a present. You can take it, place it on your present, and then have a couple picks, a couple decorations and ornaments covering it. Because who wouldn't like to receive a beautiful present that's been adorned? I know I certainly would. I think I would like that more than the present itself. But we have this pretty bow. What do you guys think of that? I like that. And how are we doing on time? We got 4 minutes left. I say let's make one more bow using this Merry Christmas ribbon. So hands up if you guys like this ribbon. I was just going to rip this plastic off, but I know Yaya would have killed me because she likes saving these plastic pieces to cover up the rolls after I'm done with them. So I can't forget that. Look at that. What do you think of that?
That's a really pretty.
Isn't that a pretty
That's
ribbon?
really pretty.
That's why we have so many rolls of this, just because I think you bought them for me again too, Dad, because you just love that ribbon. My dad's kind of a ribbon guy, and he's also a grapevine guy. So if he sees grapevines, he knows what to do. Place our wire in our Bowdabra, and let's create one final bow. So for this bow, I'm going to create longer tails, and I like to stop where it says Merry Christmas, so I'm not cutting into the next print. Take our tails.
You could find the ribbon maker at Bowdabra.
Yep, at Bowdabra. Bowdabra.com. Michaels also carries them, and Amazon as well. All right, so this ribbon, we didn't use this ribbon, but we used a God Bless America ribbon before with the words on it, and it turned out so pretty in a wreath. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. It's on my page. It's so pretty having the words displayed like that.
This beautiful green color with the red letters, just beautiful.
So I actually ordered a roll of this during my senior week in high school a couple of years back, and I was so excited for it to come in, and it was kind of like a pea soup green. It wasn't this beautiful lime green. So I still have that roll. I just have yet to use it, and I probably never will because it's kind of, like I said, like a pea soup green. And I wasn't a fan of that color. But this lime green's very pretty.
This color makes me want Christmas to come quick.
You know what? I'm always in the mood for Christmas, Dad. My dad hears me play Christmas music
all year long.
I love Christmas. What do you guys think? You love Christmas as well? Just the whole Christmas spirit that everybody has. Okay, so we have 3 loops on this side. We have 3 on the other. Let's do a couple more. And then we will be done, and I'll be out of your hair. But let us know what your favorite bow of the night was. We have this green ribbon, Merry Christmas one. We have the fall one that we just created. We have the God Our Savior with the cream and ivory. We have the red and white candy cane Christmas ribbon on the wreath that we created. And we have the Merry Christmas in the burlap with the solid burlap ribbon as well. So let us know what your favorite bow was.
Debbie says my favorite ribbon so far.
I know, I love this ribbon too. Again, take our wire, fold it over, and secure from behind. So like I said, I like to secure it a couple times. And open up your loop. So since it's a wired ribbon, holds its shape beautifully. And our final loop.
Barbara says Merry Christmas lime green. She's with hearts. She loves it.
Awesome. Me too. My favorite for the night was probably going to be the Savior bow, just because I love that color. I think it's such a rich looking color.
Marianne says, how do you keep the loops even on each side, Nick?
I don't. I really don't. I don't put too much thought into it. If they're not even, let's say this one's like an inch longer, all you have to do is just do that or that to compress it a little bit. So don't worry too much about getting them exact. I'm a perfectionist by nature, and over time I've just realized that it's not going to make a huge difference, and there's no reason to stress yourself out. So again, let's do a recap. We created this bow, this Merry Christmas bow. We also created this one, which is really pretty. Let us know what you guys think of that one. We created a Christmas wreath using the red and white candy cane. And look at how pretty that greenery is as well. I think that's such a pretty greenery with the little blocking material. And then what else did we create?
The little berries, cute.
The little berries. We created this one, which is my favorite of the night. And then lastly, this one. So thank you guys so much for watching tonight's live on Bowdabra. I want to thank Sandy for having me as a guest tonight. I will also be live next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 Central and 5 Pacific. I could be mistaken, but it's 7 p.m. Eastern. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what your favorite ribbon was. And if you don't mind giving this video a like and a share, I greatly appreciate it. So I hope you guys are all staying safe, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.